Hi Virgo, this is your extended reading. So, one thing I just want to begin with before anything else. If you've seen the thumbnail, you know that this extended has a lot more cards than I usually pull, but it is what it is. It is the message that has to come through, and I actually understand why these two extra cards had to come through, because I feel like is this slowly but surely allowing yourself to just opening up this glass dome. It's what I'm seeing. It's like this lifting off of this glass dome, but also being like broken down. It's like this spell that, and it's interesting. It's like what I'm hearing right now, because in the first part it didn't come through like that. I actually didn't know where this spell was coming through, but right now as I'm asking mentally, I'm getting the answer of the magic that has been put around your heart. It's like this combination of the universe and yourself. So I feel like it's this unconscious uh, work that you have been doing, to protect your heart, to try to escape this dreamy possibility of living your life, or to allow yourself to dream again of letting other people touch your heart, and become vulnerable, to share your dreams, to not only become this very stable and independent King of Pentacles, but to let someone in. And so what I'm hearing with this magician is that this spell that has been, shutting down your heart and concealing this glass dome, it's this co-creation between the universe and you, and it had a purpose of protection, of concealing when it was time, because it had a purpose. Because now we're starting this extended with the Four of Pentacles. So this is again this relationship, this shutting down of your heart, because as I said, this core pentacle is symbolizing your heart with the clear boundaries around it. So here they are again, but your heart is no longer there. And it's interesting because it's like either you remove yourself from this spell, or you are the one who is opening up this glass dome. You see, it's like I don't know if I made myself clear. It's like because it sounded like it's the same thing, but it's not. It's two things. So one thing is you removing the understanding that you even need a boundary. So this dissolves the magic. And the other thing is you consciously lifting it off. You see what I mean? So if you lift off, because it's the distinction here, and I feel like in a way it is what is happening. So it's not so much that you're dissolving it. It's like you are lifting it off, but the glass dome is still there. It's still physical. It's still, these boundaries still exist. And because we have, well, let's go like this. So it's like this. We have the Four of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, Judgment, and the Four of Wands. So you see how we go from the Four of Pentacles to the Four of Wands? It's this relationship. You as the King of Pentacles and them being the Queen of Wands. So the earth and the fire working together. It's the arrival of this one. So it's interesting because first you sense the air shifting and becoming hotter. You see? But here, what I'm seeing is whatever they're doing in coming into your life, in coming into this encircled space, it's not that they're dissolving it. It's like they're burning it. They are shattering it. They are breaking it down, because what I'm seeing, it's like this Six of Cups, it's the representation of the glass dome. This is the, so it's almost like if we're looking from from up above, right? Like a bird's eye view. So this is the limits of it, and this is looking from a side. So this is here. It's the same thing here. The Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. So it's again the relationship between the physical aspect of this protection and the emotional aspect of this protection. So you see here how this pentacle in the middle is this core heart. It's this very soft spot inside of you that you're protecting with everything that you can. And here it's no longer. So it's like whatever they are representing in your life, whatever this Queen of Wands is bringing you that feels very energetic, feels very flowy, feels like this gush of wind, but it's like this hot breeze on a summer day, you know. And sometimes this could be uncomfortable to your very stable stance. But what I'm sensing here is that their arrival is so impactful, is so big, is so strong, that it's like, it's interesting how this image of the Judgment, it's like, it's exactly this breaking of this, it's this shattering of into pieces, into a million pieces of this glass dome. So it's interesting, their arrival has this second phase to it. So before, you are the one, Virgo, who lifts off this this glass dome, so you expose yourself, right? If we use the same symbol from the first part, from the movie, the Beauty and the Beast, with the rose that is dying, you know, it's like you're lifting off that barrier, the glass barrier, and you expose what's inside. That it's very delicate, it's very soft, but you do so because it's like, you know that you are stepping into some solid ground, and there is no need to protect anymore. You can be very vulnerable again with the Six. It's almost like this is their presence, feels like a reconnection, like a recognition and a reconnection. Recognition and oh my god, I cannot say them, but these two words are coming through very strongly. It's like you sense that they're coming, so you initiate this movement and you lift off, but the glass is still there. And when they come, they just break it into a million pieces, and they are the ones who are going to not only break it but also dissolve it. You see what I mean? And it's interesting because this this breaking down is here too. So it's interesting because we have, you know, 3 4s, and you know, I just peeked into the bottom of the deck and it's another 4. So you have all 4s. You have all 4s, which to me is telling that, you know, what you seek, which is stability, because we saw you beginning the first part with the King of Pentacles, you have it. You have it. But we saw you taking this, you know, the leap to expose your heart to this one, because they bring you this energy, this this hot breeze that feels good. I want to say it feels like, it's like there is no judgment of value, it's just very impactful. So there is no judging if it's good or bad. It's just big. You see what I mean? It is strong. It has to happen. This breaking down of this glass dome has to happen. And it's here too. So we have the 5 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. So this dynamic is repeating over and over and over in your reading today, Virgo. It's so interesting because I feel like it's this breaking down of all of these layers. Because remember, from the first part we had, you know, the oh my god, sorry, we had the 5 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups, and the 3 of Swords. So the physical boundary, the emotional boundary, and the mental boundary. So it's almost like you cannot break all of them at once. It has to go one by one into phases. You see? And the first one is the physical one that we saw. So I feel like you're preparing for this first breaking down of this glass dome, and it is this physical aspect of it, perhaps letting one physically enter your space, or, you know, relating with someone in this very bodily sense, you see? So this is what happens first. No, it's here. But then, you know, here, it's like the energy of this one breaks the last barrier, which is the mental barrier, going from the 5 to the 4. So the boundaries in your mind are still at play when they come, when they shatter into pieces this glass dome, physically and emotionally. Physically and emotionally first. But because you have taken the leap to initiate the movement and just lift off this cage in a sense. But their presence is breaking much more than that. It's breaking the rules. It's changing the rules. It's changing your thoughts. It's changing your beliefs. And it's interesting because, you know, this 4 of Swords, it is, you know, traditionally a card of rest, of needing some time off. And I feel like this is perhaps guidance, because what is coming next, which are 3 cards that jumped out together, and I feel like they're telling the same story. It's like what's coming after you take some time off, because it's like breaking so many layers that it's like there is this need to just recoup. It's like regroup. It's like you need to recuperate your energy, because a lot of things have changed because of the arrival of this one, of the Queen of Wands. Yes, bringing you a lot of energy, but also with all of these 4s, it's like stability to another level, because, you know, it's across all elements, it's across all suits. So it's not only the one that you have, which is the Pentacles, you see, which is in fact the first one to be broken down. But the last one being this mental, which I feel like it's the one that is closest to your heart. It's like the one that really liberates you. But when you do, it's like all of your being needs this, it's like this purging, you know? So there is this need to rest, Virgo. But after you do rest, these cards are coming next. And they jumped all together, and I thought it was just the most magical thing, because I feel like this is the new, and I just got goosebumps, this is the new you being born, Virgo. So we have the 2 of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Hermit, and this is all you. But, you know, this 2 of Cups, it's you allowing your heart to be touched again by another. And this is so gorgeous, because I feel like here it's complete vulnerability, complete, I just got goosebumps again. It's like, whew, ah, it's like your heart is so soft, but even though, you know, you are coming with a harder shell than they are, they're coming with a lot of momentum, a lot of dynamic energies, but they have a soft heart too. And so in breaking all of these barriers, in reaching the core of it, both of you learn that you resonate in this heart space, even though apparently you are very, very different. You see what I mean? And so because of this very pure heart connection, it's almost like they contaminate you. So it's, and in a good way, okay? I just want to make clear. It's like their energy, it's like who they are, that it is very flammable or very fiery, very energetic, very agile, very, it's like they are always on the move. They are never stagnant. Very, you know, in a very high contrast with you. But once you let your heart be touched again, Virgo, it's like you're becoming their student. You're becoming their student. You're allowing them to teach you how to be. And I was going to say how to be more like them, but it's just not to have any misunderstandings about this. It's not that you have to change who you are. It's not at all about that. It's just that they are not as rigid as you were before you met them. So they are teaching you how to make yourself, you know, being very self-aware that you already are, but remaining stable but not stagnant, remaining very self-aware but not closed up or closed off. You see? And so by doing so, it's like you gained this childlike energy, this childlike innocence, this childlike curiosity, this aliveness for life, this zest for life, this hunger just to learn, to move, to go places, to do things, to, you know, perhaps come out of your hermit phase. But this is interesting because the hermit is ending this part of your reading. Remember, as I said, you know, in the bottom of the deck, we have another 4, which is the 4 of Cups. So this is the new boundary that you're establishing, one that is not rigid, you see, but one that is made of love, is built with love, is built with this very pure but also very soft line. So it is not locking you down. It's still providing you with stability and a solid, firm ground, because you see the base of this pyramid, the base of this tent of the hermit. You know, this is the place in which you find shelter, in which you find safety, in which you find, you know, you draw your boundaries. But if before they were very rigid, now this last, you know, after you break down all of your walls, all of your layers, the mental one being the last one, because, sorry Virgo, my phone just cut down the video. So I was going to say that, you know, the last boundary that you have broken down, the rigid ones, by, you know, releasing it and allowing it to be replaced by this more subtle, more loving, more caring, more vulnerable boundary because you have been touched by this pure heart also. So there is no longer the belief that, you know, exposing your heart is a bad thing, or that dreaming is not worth it because, you know, you're just going to be betrayed or anything like that. Because you go back to your, it's almost like going back to your childhood where you believed in good, you believed in just in humanity, in people, and you desire to expand your horizons and move out of your comfort zone. So, but what I was going to say about this hermit ending your reading today is that there is this sensation that even though, yes, you were learning to live again, you were learning to find fun in living, you are learning to find moments of joy and bliss and just this pure energetic vibration that just accelerates the cells of your body and moves you instead of being stagnant. You see, it's like you know that you'll always have this very sacred and safe space that you have created for yourself, and that it is being kept by this new boundaries. So it's almost like whatever spell was binding you before, binding your heart before, with this very solid glass barrier, this glass dome, concealed by magic, now this layer of protection, it's not protection in itself, it's just this new ground for this place of safety, place of security, place of stability that you do need, that you do have to go back into it to seek this calmness, this just this reorganizing of, you know, your mind, your soul, and your body. Because, you know, as I said, you have all four elements, so every aspect of your life is contained within this space. So it is connected to who you are and what you need from time to time, but it doesn't mean that you have to stay there forever and ever and ever and never leave to have stability. You can have stability, but also you can remain curious, you can be very adventurer, you see, because now you have the company of someone that is instigating you, that is moving you, that is just connecting to your pure heart. So you know that they are trustworthy, they know that they are this very energetic company. I'm sorry, I'll have to stop just a second. I'm sorry about that again. So just to finish what I was saying, you don't lose this protection, you don't lose whatever you have built for yourself. This solid ground, this stable foundation, it is still there, but now the boundaries are softer, which is really, really good. So Virgo, let's see what the runes have to add as a final guidance for you. Yeah, so it's interesting. Your final guidance from this rune today is very, very clear. So the rune that came through is Uranus, and it's interesting because Uranus is in Taurus, which is also an earth sign just as much as you. So it's like this embrace the change, Virgo. This is the message that came through, and it's very clear because it's like, you know, usually the simplest message is the closest to what it will really reach your core. So embrace the change, don't fear the change. You know, even though it is impactful, as I said, it's not a question of value in a sense of judgment, if it's good or bad, if it's, you know, a detrimental change or a better change. It's not about that. It's a necessary, very timely change. You see what I mean? And it is very impactful. You know, Uranus is this very rebel figure that or energy that brings about radical transformation, and often ones that are, you know, really big, and they come in very fast. They really turn our lives upside down in a quick motion. So just prepare yourself to embrace this change. Embrace the change, Virgo. Don't fear it, just embrace it. So thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry about all the pauses. I hope this message was clear and insightful for you. I'll see you next time, Virgo. Thank you. Bye.